Hi guys, how are you? It's Louise from Elite Menagerie Habitats, and we're just waiting for Aquafunk to jump in. Cam, looks like you're already here. Hello, my dear. How are you? Give me 1 second because I'm going to try to set up on a different angle. I unfortunately do have to... Okay, I have to charge my phone, and this is a horrible angle, but we're going to have to work with it. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab my earbuds. Okay, I've got one earbud in. Cam, can you let me know if you can hear me, honey? Hello, my dear. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Jeff. How are you? Okay. Audio's great. Awesome. Give me 1 second. Aquafunk is ready to rock. Hello.
Hey, we did it.
Oh, I'm telling you, this has been a day. Do we tell the crowd that it's been a day?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah?
Yeah. Go
All
ahead.
right. Well, hello, folks, and welcome to the shop. And it's been a Tuesday from HE Double Hockey Sticks. On the upside, my tricolor Cyprichromis are the females are holding, so they've already bred, and they just got here on Saturday.
Listen. First of all, we're starting it off. What the holus?
A hootie wuddy? It's a cichlid. Come on, you got to get up on your. It's Lake Tanganyika, so it's not a cichlid that you're like
No,
expert
so first
level.
of all, I like Lake Tanganyikans,
Do you?
but
But do you like the monsters or the little stuff?
well, the little so okay. So first of all, being able to call the fish by their Latin names, that's a niche. Now you're talking about Lake Tanganyikans, little fish, that's a niche of a
On top of
niche.
a niche, I know.
So
I'm
stop
into
being
the
all
weird stuff.
fancy pants.
Well, they're fancy. I'm not fancy, but I do like you're the big guy and I'm the small chick, so to speak. So these guys are in the little guys. These
What was
guys
it again?
are
What was the
it's
name of it?
called well it's in the Cyprichromis leptosoma family, but they call
Chips.
it
Chips.
sips.
God
Exactly.
dang,
That's what I
you should
call
have
them.
just said sips.
Yeah. Sardine cichlids.
You should have just said sips. I know what a sip is.
I
Yeah.
don't know if the whole crowd knows what a sips is. I mean, there's sipping on the scissor, and then there's sips. You know, which one are we sipping on? Speaking of
Sips.
sips, moment, please. Please hold. So these are the tricolor Cyprichromis. They're also known sometimes as the black bee. What are you doing?
Sips. I'm trying to dub it down for the rest of us.
Ah, I got you. Sips. So they're also known as the sardine cichlid. Ours came in from Florida Exotic Fish Sales. Tamala Bureau breeds these guys. So I bought a batch of young breeder size, and I can guarantee that they're breeding. And the boys are so flared up. Actually, so I'm charging the phone. We're on a funky angle, but that being said, I'll take you over, and hopefully they don't disappear. Give me 1 sec to turn you around. Okay, I'm going to try to do the slow roll approach because they're also in with shell dwellers, and the shellies have been kicking up a lot of sand and flaring. And if you look close, am I able to zoom? Yeah, okay. So these two have been squaring off for the big shell. These are the similar shell dwellers, but over here, I don't want to get too close because they're going to disappear. But that female on the bottom left is already holding. And that female right
What?
there in the middle, she's holding as well. And then, as you can see, the boys are just looking gorgeous right now. But they've claimed this section as theirs at this point. They started off in the back on Saturday, but they've gotten a lot more comfortable. Similis have gotten a lot more comfortable, but they're all displaying. As a matter of fact,
So can I
there's, hold
add
on, let
something
me
to
move
this real
that for you.
fast?
There's a male display. Oh,
Can
of
I add something
course.
to this real fast? So for those of y'all,
Sure can.
for most people don't have low boys, right? And if you're interested in getting Shelleys or even Calvis and Compressiceps, and you have, let's say, a 55, right? We call them tangadekins. They all
Yep. Thanks.
they all drop to the bottom of your tank. You got a whole lot of tank up there that when you have tanks,
Wasted space.
yeah, wasted space. That's where
Yeah, you
fits
got to
come in.
throw caves and rock dwellers
Yeah,
if you want top end.
yeah,
Then you do the cave and rock dwellers,
yeah,
and then they're like your Lelupis, the
yeah,
Cylindricus, things like that.
yeah,
Then at least you're optimizing the space.
yeah,
But technically, with these guys, you want width and length. And
yeah,
yeah, 28 or a 50
yeah.
gallon low boy, they're perfect.
50.
And also, if you breed plecos, definitely buy those.
Yeah,
They're great to breed plecos into.
yeah.
But sorry, go
So
ahead.
no, I just like sips to take up all that space that's not being used.
I
Because I like
gotcha.
Calvis and Compressiceps personally,
Yeah.
and
For
Gobies.
Oh yeah, well I don't have any gobies this round, but I have the Calvis and compressor steps. I even have the Sumbu, the dwarf shellies. Yeah. So, but that's my gig here. As far as cichlids, I am more of a nano fan. Like I love the Frontosa they sent me. They sent me a wild Caudicola. Oh my God, it's freaking gorgeous. And then there's a gentleman that works on the farm. He's like family. His name's Tony. Tony bred and raised the male Burundi that I have, the six stripe. You should see how gorgeous he is. And I mean, we'll get into it a little bit more about even today's order, but on Friday, I was supposed to receive this order. Unfortunately, and I'm telling the whole world this, please yell at Delta and Atlanta, and their cargo people suck. And may they somehow eat a big piece of common pleco poop. But they regularly, right, I'm getting graphic, yep. I am so mad at Delta and Atlanta because they are regularly forgetting people's packages and the delays are atrocious. And it's one thing when this happens in the summer, but when this happens in the winter and these fish sit on a tarmac, it gets cold in Atlanta. It's not always warm there. They have ice storms in the winter, and long story short, our fish risk perishing. So this order from Florida Exotic, nobody died, thankfully, everybody's fine. But Aquafunk knows I called him in a panic because they missed 2 flights with these fish. I knew I wasn't going to get them until the following afternoon, but I was honestly praying that they'd arrive at the 1 o'clock flight. The Allentown Delta people are awesome. I mean, I owe them my life. Every Christmas, I buy them food presents so that they've got snacks to get through the workday because they jump through hoops for me. And even like Delta closes at 11, and if my fish will arrive at 1, they will bring them right inside. They'll call us, and one of us goes and we get them in the middle of the night. And I can't say that for any other agency, and I mean that. The people that work for the Allentown location, I love them to death, and hopefully they hear this one day. But ATL, if I ever get a layover in ATL, I might go to jail. So forgive me, but that's my gripe for today is that that's happening again. So I should have been able to unload 9 boxes of fish today. Unfortunately, I'm only going to be unloading 6. There is a 12:41 a.m. flight that should arrive that my fish aren't going to be on, but I'm going to stay awake and hope they are. This time I escalated the claim where I actually sent them all of the Allentown agents' information, and it's like, can you, make the left foot communicate with the right foot, and can you get the stuff on the plane? Because Allentown's trying to contact Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't care. Like make somebody in Atlanta care. So we'll see. It's a horrible experiment. I got a 2% chance of it actually showing up tonight. It's a lot of smaller fish. I'm not worried. It's the summertime. They'll be okay. It just sucks as a business owner when the delays happen. And it's not just the business owner. Wholesalers go through this too. This is not, an everyday occurrence, but it happens.
This
What
is,
sucks,
I actually
part
think
of the business.
it's not an everyday occurrence, but it's a common occurrence.
It
And
is, and it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be, but it's part
Yep,
of this business
the
that
business,
a lot of people don't
100%.
think about when they
Nope,
jump into starting an
nope.
LFS.
Yep. And there's a lot of negative impact to it. Like you have customers that, want to see stuff as soon as it comes out of the bag, which I don't promote. But then, they're all upset because lights are out on a different day when I'm open. Like, so this delay, go ahead.
Tell everybody the fun and joy when you're trying to get a refund because somebody else had a problem.
Yeah, do we really want to go there? So I've got probably a dozen pending claims that are still out there in space, and that's to the tune of about $2,800 in freight that I'm owed, and good luck. I've
It's
actually,
gone.
and may someone from PETA watch this. Check your Instagram DMs, PETA. I got so angry because my fish did die. It was in the winter. The delays were just abhorrent. And obviously, as a business owner, just at face value, I can't sell dead fish. But I get upset as a business owner because if I didn't order the fish and put them on the, well, indirectly put them on the plane, they wouldn't be dead. That's how far my guilt runs. So, all that aside, I got so angry at UPS that, and I had threads and threads of angry messages and communication, and they're going to call you, they're going to email you, they're going to send you special tracking, and they don't. And then, like 3 days later, after you already have the dead stuff or the possibly alive stuff, because I've rescued more stuff than I can shake a stick at, but then you'll get this like generic email that says, "Oh, your problem's been resolved." You know, shit, Sherlock, thanks. And you can't communicate with anybody, and they don't want to give you a refund, and it's just, eat a fat D, bye. Thanks,
Mhm.
guys. So
Yeah.
I got so mad that I forwarded every single one of these emails and Facebook threads and you name it. I sent it to PETA. I swear to God on my life, this is how far I went. And everybody knows that PETA hates people that keep fish in glass boxes. That's not, new information. I actually opened the email that way. I was completely ghetto about it. I said, look, I own a tropical fish store. I know you already hate me from the jump because I've got fish in glass boxes, but I really need you to be mad at the guys with the brown trucks and the brown boxes because this is what they're doing. It's not cool. The boxes are properly labeled. Like, we're doing everything we need to do on our end. Like, help fix this problem. Go protest at UPS corporate for me and hook it up. And I closed it, I kid you not, with, and when you're done, you can come to my store, you can bitch, you can complain, you can pick it outside for a week straight, and I'll buy you gluten-free pizza if that's the case. I totally gave them carte blanche to come here and protest after protesting UPS. That's how bad I wanted them to do something. So yeah, that's my rant.
Yeah. It's
Shipping
not
sucks.
it's pretty common for LFS owners to lose 1,500, 2,000, $4,000.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And this
It
is
doesn't
part of the
happen all the
problem.
time, but when because the airport is not gonna pay for it.
Yeah,
They're not.
nobody cares. Yeah, nobody cares. And what bothers me though, and this is maybe superficial to most, as an employee who's loading these items onto planes, you see the box that clearly says live fish, keep warm. It forgive
Yeah,
me,
it's on
but
there.
it should be a priority. And it's not. And I'm being very selfish saying that because when I call for claims, and this is disgusting, when I call for claims, option one is a lost dead body. Like, for lost remains, press one. What? You lost cousin Johnny? Like, what? That's an
That
option.
happens so often that that's an option.
Option one. It's not even option number five, which is fish or reptiles. But number one is, if you're calling to claim a lost remains, press one. This is Southwest, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody check me on that, please. Then option two is a lost service animal. I forget what option three and four are, but five is animals, like again, reptiles or tropical fish. I kid you not, as far as the claims department goes. So for all the times I've been angry, every time I hear Southwest's prompt, I put myself in check because somebody literally called and was like, "You lost my grandpa," and I calmed down. And I don't ever take it out on the customer service agent. It's not their fault. But like,
Yeah.
send me a picture of the dude that left my boxes outside and just like went on break and ate a Twinkie. Send me that dude's information. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
end of rant for shipping nightmares. So that's a headache because tomorrow I have another fish delivery. I have a plant delivery. So that's not like, it doesn't accommodate my schedule. Not that I have one, but I'm already pushing 12 to 14 hours a day. And if they do come in tonight, I'm not going to be able to pick them up until 1:30, which puts me up here at 2:30, which makes me sleep on a floor for a power nap because I gotta get back to work because of the deliveries that'll be here at 8 o'clock in the morning. So,
Do you have a
hi,
back
welcome to
room?
owning a fish store.
Do you have a back room?
Actually, I don't have any, no private areas. A bathroom. That's the only safe place. I do have a full basement. It's a dirt basement. So what I did, I got frozen in here a couple of years ago, like literally frozen in here. And I did sleep on the floor. It was not comfortable. So I bought a futon mattress and frame. I have those in the basement. And God forbid I'm trapped or worked too much. At least I can pass out somewhat comfortably. To anybody that tells you that bubbles are calming, no, they're not. It's so loud in here. So yeah,
What's
there's
up,
that.
June?
June, you're gonna hate me, honey, and I love you. Funk knew of this as of last night, but the order that came in today was supposed to have your veil-tail Oscars, and they did not send me any veil-tail Oscars. I did order 8 of them. I can only assume they were out of stock before bagging my order, so I am sorry. I am going to put them on, every list for when they're available, and as long as they're from a reliable supplier, I'll definitely grab some for you. So my apologies. I know. I'm sorry, honey.
So
Go ahead.
no, that leads me. Since we're talking about ordering fish, so what
Can I ask
happens
a
a
quick
lot of
question?
times?
Is it okay if I start on bagging while we're yip yapping? Okay,
Go
cool.
ahead, go ahead. I'll go ahead and
Um,
jibber jabber.
yeah, and then in between, I'll just like when the stuff is already in a specimen cup, I'll just put it up and tell people this is what it
Yeah,
is, and if they want to talk about it, we'll
yeah.
rock. But go ahead, honey.
So what happens with ordering fish? If y'all don't know, let's say I order, me and Wheezy both order Veiltail Oscars, right? But I order I ordered five. My order went in 5 minutes before hers, and they only had X amount. And as the day went on, that people ordered and took them. Well, they only had 5 left by the time me and Wheezy, it was me and Wheezy's time to bag our stuff. And 5 minutes prior, I was first. I took those 5. Wheezy just asked out. She put it on. They don't call you and say, "Hey, we're not gonna be able to put the." They don't call you. They don't let you know
Yeah.
because
Yep.
they be
And the
calling.
veils
They be
technically were
calling.
an add-on.
Yeah, they would be calling everybody to let them know, and then everybody will be like, "Well, hold up. If you don't have that, let's see what else you
Substitute
have."
this. Well, can I throw in the bonus screw
Yeah,
me? So the
yeah,
bonus screw me are wholesalers that allow the retail stores to go pick and pack in person.
yeah.
So on Monday mornings, they're picking and packing for us, but there's
Mhm.
nothing on those tanks that they're picking and packing from that say these 20 are sold. Like when you come to my store, so for instance, Jose from Joy of Fish Keeping, he has 50 cardinals on order. So the tank's marked 50 cardinals sold. And then anything that sells online, those tanks will individually be marked so that if somebody says, I want 12 CPDs and there's only 14 in the tank and I sold 8, guess what? You're not getting 12 CPDs. So they don't do that at wholesalers. So if
Yeah.
I, as a retail store, drive to that wholesaler and I start picking stuff and bagging it myself while the employees are, bagging orders for customers like that
Mhm.
they're delivering to, I'm screwing over those customers because I just grabbed it before
Yeah.
the employee grabbed it. So it's like a triple whammy. And it's not always like that, but the sooner you get an order in, the better off you are, which,
Mhm.
again, another reason why I like to work with breeders, because when a breeder tells me, hey, I've got, 18 whatever, you have 18 whatever, they're mine. Like, again, the discus are here that I ordered because I've
Yeah.
sold out on a lot of those over the last 2 weeks. The shrimp are already here, they're put away. And real quick, I'm going to let you get back to talking, but if anybody wants to see, I don't know how clear that's going to be, but these are
Oh, the
pagoda
horn.
snails. Yeah, they're
Pagoda.
pagoda snails. Yeah, they're really cool. They don't, if I'm not mistaken, they don't breed in freshwater, or if they do, it's like crazy conditions that they breed in. But they have like spikes and horns on them, but they almost look like a pagoda, the actual pagodas. So I'm gonna put these away, but go ahead.
No, so uh, what a good thing to do is you got to be, if you find a supplier that you're happy with, you become friendly with them over time. Like I would imagine Wheezy is really cool with Florida Exotics. So if she
Yep.
orders
Yeah.
something from Florida Exotics and they do not have it for whatever reason, I am sure Florida Exotics knows her well enough to be like, well, we didn't have this for her. And instead of calling her, and taking up time, she's busy, we're busy, everybody's busy. I know she'll like these because she's ordered them in the past. We have a working
Yep.
relationship over years. We'll just send her these instead. A lot of times they're
Yep.
more expensive than what he ordered, and they won't charge you the extra price. They'll just
Yep.
go ahead,
Yeah.
take
Yep.
the L, the couple of dollars, whatever,
Yep.
and give you the more expensive fish because
Yep.
they didn't have what you
Or
wanted.
they send extras of something that I did put
Yeah.
in my order. And they
Yeah.
do that even when they bag their orders. Like if I order a 12-pack of Similis, I'm going to get 13 to 14. Individual things like your jumbo haps and peacocks, my frontosa, they're obviously not going to send something like that for free. But there's also times, and again, this is my good working relationship with them, that if there's an increase on certain fees, box fees, bagging, not bagging fees, but box fees, ice packs, even shipping, they'll throw in extra fish to offset that. And that's like, again, those are free for me and I still get to charge my price. And they'll do that with haps and peacocks. They'll be like, we sent an extra 3 because of XYZ reason. Or even if there's room in the bag, they send stuff.
When are the pagoda snails going to be available for sale?
Those guys I would say would be ready by like Sunday. Sunday to next Wednesday. I like them to settle in, and same thing. I want to make sure their parameters are good because I don't want to sell you a snail that like 3 days later they're at your house. You do a sniff test, and obviously they smell bad. Some snails can be sensitive to acclimation.
Do you have a newsletter?
I do not have a newsletter, but actually, I'm going to say this, but I'm going to walk away. The next snail that I'm putting away are what's called spiky neorites. These guys, there's 3 of them attached to each other, but they're like a dark greenish brown, and then they have little stubbies, so it's not big spikes. They're a medium-sized neorite snail, but they do leave a lot of eggs. I've noticed, like with the smaller neorites, you don't see eggs. These guys, you'll definitely see eggs because I know I have customers that are like, hey, could you, search your tank and find male only because I don't want eggs? And I'll be honest with you guys, it's impossible for us to do. We'd be in front of a fish tank for, I don't know, probably 4 days, hoping and praying that a male neorite snail crawls up the front of the glass and we bust out our magnifying glass to identify them. So if anybody wants to open, honestly, if somebody wants to open a very niche neorite snail business, I'm being dead serious, you could charge $30 per male. But there is a community out there that wants male-only neorites because they aesthetically don't want eggs stuck to their driftwood and stuck to certain things. So if you want to buy 100 of these things and separate them at your home and charge $30 a pop, and you're that bored with life that you want to sit in front of a tank for 24 hours a day to find them, you should be able to make a mint off of guaranteed male neorite snails of any form. There you go.
Yeah, I agree, Prodigy. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna work on it.
I know. I'm working on that too. I appreciate that, Prodigal. Let's see. So.
Oh yeah, it's Prodigal.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying how I was wrong. You know how I can't read.
I also wanted to mention, so I don't have a newsletter. For those of you that do social media, you can feel free to follow me on Facebook, on Band, which is a separate app in and of itself. I'm on TikTok. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram. But the business name, Elite Menagerie Habitats, is what you'll find me on. I don't do a newsletter. However, if you go on to my website, which is elitemenageriehabitats.com. If you go onto that website every Friday morning, the new list of arrivals comes onto that website before you even enter into the website to shop. If you're looking for anything that's in stock, my best tip I'm going to give you is just look at the main screen when you're in the shop. click on availability, and that's going to remove all items that might be out of stock. If you look at everything and don't click availability, I think I've got somewhere around 2,600 items. And if you click on availability, you'll get that down to somewhere between 1,000 and 1,100 items. So that's, you know, where the site stands. And the only thing, so every Friday we do fish drops on all social media platforms. It's going to tell you everything that came in for the week. If I can take pictures or video of everything that came in for the week, I try to put those on all social media platforms. And for this weekend, and this is my shameless plug, my old rear end is going to be 49 on Saturday, August 1st. So for my birthday, and this is just a thank you for watching me on my YouTube channel and hanging out with my crazy behind. If you go online and you make any purchase, whether it's an in-store online pickup, because basically you can do all your shopping online, tell me your pickup time and I'll have everything ready for you here at the shop. So whether you shop online for in-store pickup or you shop online to place an order on Saturday, August 1st, if you use the code birthday15, you'll get 15% off your entire order. You will receive a separate shipping invoice. The plus side to shipping is if you are in the tri-state area outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but most of New Jersey, most of New York, and most of Pennsylvania, overnight shipping is done with UPS Ground. It will cost you $15 or less for up to almost 10 pounds of fish to be shipped overnight from my store. If, however, you are outside of that area, UPS prices have gone up. We do use Shippo, so we try to get you the best rate as possible. But I do a lot of shipping to California, Washington, Arizona, Utah, and Wyoming. And you're looking at 70 and up to go out that way. Now, if you get together with a couple of friends, I've got a guy in Oregon that does this. He gets together with a couple of his friends, and I send out damn near 40 pounds of fish in a great big box, and it's only $137. So split that 4 ways with your buddy. If you're out on the West Coast and you watch this, it is worth it if you do a big order, and that, again, would ship overnight air. Most other areas, Florida runs about $50, but most other areas you're looking at somewhere between 47 and 70 on average. And that's just the best I can do with Shippo. We ship on Mondays and Tuesdays, and we check the weather. That's the other thing. So if the weather's not looking good or it's too hot, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to keep in communication with you. I told you about your separate shipping invoice. Once the invoice is paid, obviously we ship. We ship with heat packs, cool packs. We double bag everything, live oxygen, and we also use ammonia pads. We also hit you with a dash of C-Chem Prime just to offset any type of ammonia spikes. I am not as bougie as Dan's Fish. I'm not going to lie. I wish I could do it. I don't have the time to do it, but I don't individually bag. But if you do order multiples of stuff, I'm not throwing 13 fish in one bag, even if it's a school of something. That's not what I do here. You know, but I do separate the orders. I make sure that everybody's got enough room in the bags, and I do my best. My fatalities are far and few and in between. UPS leaving here, I don't have a lot of problems with. Getting here, I do. I have problems with my local hub here. But getting stuff out, I've only had one shipping delay, and it was because the UPS driver never picked up at the UPS access point, which really sucked because it was... Well, here's the worst part. So I won't say the gentleman's name, but he's kind of YouTube famous for breeding, and he ordered all of my bitterlings that I had left. And I loved the bitterlings. I really did. So I get his package all off, ready to rock, blah, 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 drop it off at the access point, and son of a bee, the next day he doesn't have the package. And why? Because it's sitting at the access point because the driver never bothered to pick up. So at this point, I was using Pirate Ship. And I filed the claim because I want him to get his shipping money back. Luckily, they did arrive the next day and everybody was alive, but neither here nor there. He paid for overnight shipping, give him his money back. So I filed a claim through Shippo, and they send me this blanket email of, oh, well, you know, sorry that happened, but we can't do anything about porch pirating. What? Ain't no porch pirate. Your employee slacked off. Like, who are we kidding? So I file an appeal, and I say that, and then I submit the invoice. I submit his proof of delivery because, you know, it was on his front porch. I
submitted the tracking that showed like you didn't pick it up and then what time it got dropped off. I submitted everything, and I was like, ain't no porch pirating. Like, he got the fish, they're alive. So the porch pirates came back and decided, oh no, we don't want this. It's a live animal. We don't know what to do with it here. Sorry, sir. Like, it didn't go down like that. So I submit the appeal. They send the same email back. Porch pirates, listen, you're pirate shit. We're not going to go as far as taking it to porch pirating, but okay. So I dropped them. Like, you're not getting my money. You're not getting my customers' money. And it was insured. Like, you didn't do your job. Bad enough you get away with bad weather because, you know, a raindrop came down. And then it's always a broken down truck or a broken down plane. Well, you know, no offense, but tell your CEO to spend better. So, yeah, done with that rant. The pirate was an employee, right?
What you got now?
What do I got now? I've been yipping yapping with you. I'll get to the next fish. Go ahead.
I was just wondering.
So the bag that I opened and I've been letting them swim around are orange poso rabbit snails. I really like these guys. They have a dark brown chocolatey shell, but they are a bright orange. They always do well. So these guys will definitely be ready to rock for the weekend. I've got 2 bags of those guys. But big, bright orange body, and they really do have the most adorable rabbit ears. So I'm going to go put those away. Go ahead.
Are you familiar with volcano snails?
Yes.
There's
volcano snails. There's lava snails. The volcano snails are... I'm sorry?
Yeah, tell me about them, because I got them. I don't know nothing about them, and I haven't killed them. But I haven't done anything to do anything. Like, I haven't done anything to like, you know, like, oh, let me cater to these guys. But they've
You don't have to. Yeah, no, you don't have to. They're pretty easy, like low maintenance, but they don't breed in freshwater. The next thing is a mono shrimp. I'm going to leave the mono shrimp to the side. So yeah, you won't get any babies out of them. Volcanoes fall into something fauna. I can't remember the Latin name on them, but there's a bunch of different types. There's a the cappuccino snail, the lava snail. Some call them red devils and black devils. The volcano. Oh, you know what? Actually, this is where common names is actually a bad thing. So there's 2 types of volcano snails now that I'm thinking about it. There's a volcano rabbit snail, and then there's also the volcano snail that goes into the cappuccino, black devil, that Neurite family. So
and that's
it depends.
why I was asking, because that fish, that little snail that you just showed looks a lot like this right here.
Nope, that's the Neurite one. And that in my world is called a cappuccino snail. Can you show me its tip? Does it get lighter towards the end? Because if not, show me the tip. Just the tip. Where's your wife? Get her in on this conversation, please. Okay, that's a cappuccino in my world. So that's not a volcano in my world, but in my world, they call it either a cappuccino snail or they sometimes call it the red devil snail, but that one's the fauna, whatever. Yeah, look up, Google cappuccino snail, and then it'll tell you whatever the Latin name is.
Nope.
All right.
You know what? Look, I'm not into it that much that I'm going to actually spend time looking it up. If you can't tell me, now I know. That's as far as I'm going to go, is ask you. I'm not going to like
That's a multiple common name snail. Well, no, I'm into snails too. I'm a weirdo.
I'm going to call it
the next fish is going to jump out. So that being said, are you familiar with the pink-tail and the Yellowfin Chalceus? Or Chaleus, however it's pronounced?
I love those.
The big tetra dudes. Yeah, so Jose bought a bunch of my pink-tails, and they're out of pink-tails, so I got yellow fins. And the same company that I got the veil-tails from, I ordered 12 of them. They sent me the last 3 that they had. So as a backup, I ordered 12 small ones. So obviously 2 different prices, but he is stressed. Yeah, so he's stressed out, and I want to get him into the tanks. So I'm going to dump him and his 2 friends in here, dump out the water, and get them taken care of. But in the meantime, go ahead.
I like the yellow fins. They get really bright yellow. They get bright yellow.
They're absolutely gorgeous. They're the perfect dither. And oh, that's what I wanted to say when we were talking about Lake Tanganyika. That's what cyprichromis are to me. If you want like a Tanganyikan tank, the sardine cichlids are your dither. The Lake Tanganyikan version of a Denison barb. At least that's how I look at them. I don't know
Is
if
that
you
where it's
would
from?
like say that that's a good
From Africa?
comparison.
They're from Africa?
I'm sorry, the cyprichromis.
No, that what you have.
Yeah, the cyprichromis.
Yeah, I know the sips are, but
Oh, the Chalceus? I don't. Oh no, yeah, no, I don't know where the Chalceus come from. I wish I could honestly give you that answer, but
no, because
I love them. I understand the care, but I don't know where they came from.
I would imagine they're
They
probably
came from a place in the Carolinas.
Hey, anybody, can y'all look it up where that fish comes from?
Somebody wants an extra 5% off of their order on Saturday after using code birthday15.
What?
Be the first one to answer where they come from.
Tell them.
Anybody?
You know you want those snails, man.
Look at Kim said, just Google it. Look. Kim said, just Google it. You know why she said that? She got my T-shirt that says, they don't know what they're talking about. Just Google it.
Say the word. Say the
Yellowfin Chalceus.
Chalceus, yeah, because I was gonna call it Chalceus.
Yes.
Kelsey Clinton. Kelsey Clinton.
It's Chalceus.
They look like soft little weak barracudas that wouldn't hurt nobody.
Yes, definitely. That's a good comparison.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's what because I like barracudas.
Wow, somebody's
so every time I
us...
saw them, I'm like, oh, is that No, that ain't no barracuda. It's got fun. It's got.
Cam did the hashtag. I love this girl. Cam did my favorite hashtag. I love this woman.
They're full of detritus.
So I don't know. Okay, yeah, you're getting a pretty decent view. So these guys are the super red Cacatuoides. There's 3 pair in this bag, and then when I open the next bag, I'm just going to put them where they belong. But that being said, the boys are nice and fired up. The females are definitely a good size, and they're showing decent color on them.
And if you
so I'm going to get these guys drained and get them over.
And you can order just the males.
No, you may not. These are sold as pairs. Right now, I don't have any spare male or female Apistogramma of any type at this point. I might be a liar. I think I might have an extra male banshee. And every once in a while, I can get extras for some of my customers that have purchased from me, and like they know that they're breeding them. Every once in a while, I can get a hookup on that.
How you gonna have
I
a
do
male
have
banshee?
guaranteed pairs. I'm sorry?
How you gonna have a male banshee? That don't even make no sense.
Well, because I lost one female.
No.
So I have 2 males right now and 1 female.
A banshee.
Oh, banshee
is a female.
I know, but these are banshee cichlids, also known as the Incas. It's a type of Apistogramma.
But the banshee is a
girl. Some people call them Incas. I understand that,
like
but
people
you
say,
know, this
"Oh,
is
that's a boy."
2026.
Like people say, "Oh, that's a boy chicken." No, it's not. It's a rooster. Ain't no boy chickens.
I get what you're saying. It's 2026. Let the banshee be a boy.
Oh, okay.
Better than being called a bitch and he's a boy, right? Let's see. I can't bring myself to not buy a pair of Apistos. It's just not. If you like Apistos, honey, give me 1 second. So the Cacatuoides are always gorgeous. You get really, really good quality Cacatuoides. However, that being said,
I think they just. I think they're just popular because of their name, personally. These
are my favorite.
Yeah, those look better to me. I think people just like Cacatuoides because they like saying their names. Personally.
The red fires, and you can see that's a pair right there. That's his girlfriend. As soon as I went to find him, she came right up behind him. She guards him, and they are a couple. Yeah. And now there's other pairs in here, and as they pair off, I watch the behavior. I know, who's wooing who, so to speak. Sorry, I'm looking for the other. Okay. So I know who's wooing who, and I watch how they set up shop, keep caves in here so that if they want to do what they do best, but that's how I like to sell my pairs. I can pick out a male and a female and just throw them in a bag, but here we don't rock that way. You get who the pairs are, and I watch that. So any of our pairs, trust me, I'm not taking a random scoop and throwing it in a bag. You're getting love.
Well,
But these
Jeff,
are my favorites.
look,
The
Jeff.
purples, this light does them no justice.
All right, Jeff.
Well, like I said, Jeff, if you use birthday 15, the code is going to be birthday 15. It'll be activated on the website on Saturday, August 1st, and it's going to end at 12:01 a.m. August 2nd. But that's my birthday present to everybody watching the live stream. I will be putting it on social media on my birthday, but you guys get the heads up that that code will be in existence, and feel free to make a purchase, my dear.
And on top of that 15, if you figure out where Chelsea Clinton came from.
Little Rock, Arkansas, I'm going with. I think that's where they were from, right? There's a lot of stuff that goes down in Little Rock, but I'm going to keep all the rest of that to myself.
A yellowfin pink-tailed Chelsea Clinton.
Oh my God, sorry. That's probably a really loud laugh because I'm on earbuds. My bad.
No, it's not that bad.
All right, so I'm going to get to the next bag.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I want to talk about. So I get it that I'm I'm self-promoting, but I'm also going to mention this real quick. These guys in here are my male Rubra pinus. Well, these guys here are the male Rubra pinus. I'll be taking out the females next. But that being said,
what are they?
This isn't. Well, let me first and foremost say that this isn't your cup of tea, sir. So are you ready to be educated on something today?
As long as you say the name again, go ahead. Because I'm childish. Go ahead, say it again.
Okay, so Rubra pinus, not a penis. Rubra pinus.
Say it real fast, though.
So back when you were 13 and you rubbed one out too much and it got red, it's a Rubra pinus.
Say a Rubra penis.
Rubra pinus. Go ahead, get your joke over with, and then I'll explain how they breed. It's a type of killifish, so that's where you're getting your education today on killifish.
Everybody, listen up. She's gonna tell you how the penis.
I am. Breeds. I'm gonna tell you how to breed your penis.
Yeah, how it works.
Let me find the girlfriends. And I'll discuss how to breed your penis. Oh my God, now he's got me going. So the way this works, found them. The way this works is these guys are a dirt spawning or peat spawning killifish. Their longevity is not long. So the downside to all of these beautiful peat moss or dirt spawning type killifish.
Wait, you saying that the penis longevity is not long? It needs some Viagra.
Exactly.
It needs Viagra.
Exactly. So it doesn't have a long enough lifespan. See, you get the top 40 years. After that, it slows down. They don't have 40 years.
It needs the hymns.
So that being said, if you're lucky, you can get 16 to 18 months tops out of these little guys. They sexually mature, obviously, at a much faster rate. And a lot of people are turned off by having these types of species of killifish. And I got to be honest with you, the beauty of them obviously isn't the short lifespan, but they are, well, they're a gorgeous killifish. Any type of peat spawning. They are. But not just the Rubra pinus, okay? Knock it off. There's a whole bunch of other types.
Well,
so,
I'm saying the word
that being said,
I'm saying the penis. It's a gorgeous penis. What? Stop being dirty.
Oh my God. Where's your wife? She needs to hit you in the back of the head with a chancleta. So that being said, if you guys ever have the opportunity to want to challenge yourself on a breeding project,
get yourself a gorgeous penis.
All you need, honestly, is it helps. All you need is a 5-gallon tank. In that 5-gallon tank, you can put whatever substrate you want in it. You don't have to make the entire tank full of dirt or peat or any type of soil base. What you can do is put whatever type of substrate you want to that side, and then take a plastic container or a glass dish and put the peat in that glass dish. They will go to the area they need to go to in order to spawn, which creates a lot less mess in your tank. You can fiddle faddle with your pH and use botanicals and all that other good stuff and provide them lots of cover, and you can throw hornwort in there. You can keep their tank very basic, but to breed them is a challenge, but it's quite an interesting experience. And because they only live such a short life, you're not only breeding them to possibly sell them, but you're breeding them and then you have a good chance of keeping those babies and watching them grow out. So you can turn an under 2-year fish into a 4-year fish. You just have to put in a little work. You take that cup out that's going to have the eggs in the peat. You dry that peat out for a certain specific amount of days, depending on the type of peat spawning killifish you purchased. But it's really a fun experience. There's a lot of people out there, I breed guppies, I breed endlers, I breed neocaradinas. And the breeding for that involves the technique of culling. Okay, when you're breeding things like that, they're doing the breeding, you're doing the feeding. The work when you're breeding a live bearer, or the work that when you're breeding a neo, is to separate the ones that don't look, grade A, so to speak. There's gradings on fish. That's when you can call yourself a breeder, so to speak. But with this, to tell someone you've bred a peat spawning killifish, that's quite impressive, to be honest. And that's just my personal opinion. It's the same with cichlids. They breed like rabbits. And what makes you a breeder, especially angelfish, and Funk's the go-to on this, is, are you culling? What makes a gorgeous angelfish? What makes a gorgeous angelfish is after it's 2 years old and you see what it became, not what you bought when it was the size of a quarter, or some people that sell them at a nickel or a dime just to flip them. Because again, they breed like rabbits. The culling is what sells a good angelfish. And I don't mean cull to kill. That's not who I am. People can tell you in my store, if I get a fish that has one eye or bent spine, I have a special needs tank at home. I keep these fish. People have definitely gone by tanks. Oh my God, that's a zigzag. Yes, and zigzag has a little note on the tank that says, this is zigzag. He's mine. He's not for sale. So I just want to kind of throw that out there. But for a challenge, these fish are super cool. I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to put these guys away. But go ahead. Sorry. You can keep with your penis jokes.
So to recap, what you got to do is you got to get some 5-gallon tank. Don't worry about the pH. Just and you get some Java moss. Put the Java moss in there and put your beautiful penis right up in there and just let it be. And then dry it out.
You have to be somewhat concerned with pH.
And then dry it out. You got to dry it out.
Let it dry out and shrivel up.
but fucking the zigzag of the family. So, speaking of culling, culling doesn't necessarily mean killing. At least culling just remove from the group.
Right.
Now, when I was breeding guppies,
it's out of the equation of breed.
Yeah, I did use them as food. I actually bought a Honduran red point, yeah. And I called him the Mighty Cole. That was his name, the Mighty Cole.
That's cute.
Because what am I supposed to do? Keep a whole bunch of guppies that had bent spines, males and females.
Well, check this out. 2 weeks ago, one of my Betta breeders sent me a one-eyed yellow Dumbo ear placket. But that being said, what happened? Here, hold on one second. Let me get this Dumbo eared placket, the short fin Bettas.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back. I just want to put this Chalceus away. So long story short, I'm putting away all the Bettas, and I dump him into a 10-gallon community, and not even 30 seconds after I dump him, because you want to like triple check them, make sure everybody's good. So he turns, he ain't got no eye. He has no right eye.
It's One-Eye Willie. Hey, you
Yeah, so if you look
guys.
when he turns, got the eye on that side, but he doesn't have the other
He's not going to
eyeball.
turn because
So
that's the
as
only
you
way
can
he can
see
see
here,
you.
exactly, yeah. So that's why he does that on purpose.
Yeah.
But I put him up for adoption, so he was free if he went to a home that they could, tell me, hey, we're gonna, put him by himself because I don't want him to be injured. He's not a predator at all. He's actually in with shrimp right now. But he got adopted, and we named him Banana One Eye. So the people that adopted him, the gentleman works for Ecotech, which is now bought out by 18 other companies. So I don't know what the heck it's called now. But really nice guy. He's Bettas. He purchased all of he had the tank at home, but he purchased like his dry goods and plants and stuff like that. And they're cycling the tank, and then they're adopting Mr. One-Eye Banana. So I think that's sweet. And that's what I'll do. Like if somebody I know who's a regular here can give some of the special needs stuff a good home, I have no issue with it because otherwise I have a 55 community tank at home, and then I've got other areas here where I keep those guys. So anyway, keep going.
So, look, got a question for the group because I was thinking about this the other day. I forgot what, I was watching somebody. I forgot who, and the thought popped in my. Well, I know me and Wheezy was talking about this a while back, but the other day it really kind of like made me think. As far as being in the hobby and giving people advice and listening to other people talk on you know their standards, this, that, and the other. The as far as keeping fish, the the idea of good or good enough. You know what I'm saying? Good or good
Sorry, I'm putting
enough.
away Chalceus that you guys have already seen, but go ahead.
Yeah. So, you know, are you keeping your fish good or good enough? Does it matter if you're keeping them good or good enough? Will you have a problem if somebody is keeping their fish good or good enough? Uh, you know what I'm saying? Like, because where does good end? Where does good end? Good is basically free, in my opinion. Free. Let them go. Let them go. That's as good as it gets, right? Good enough is the best you can do without harming them. Which, by the way, let me not. Uh, uh, but what are your? Let me see. Good enough when you have multi tanks. Okay, good enough when you have multiple tanks. I think Europeans. James is right. Guppies. Hey, I guess somebody's asking if you have guppies. Is that what you're asking, James? If she
Do I
has
have
guppies?
guppies?
I don't know. They just put a guppies and a question mark. So yeah, do you have guppies?
I have a bunch of different kinds of guppies. Tomorrow I have female snakeskin guppies coming. I have male pingu guppies coming, which are the bumblebee guppies. I have red platinum Dumbo ear males coming, and then I have a few pairs left of koi
I think
guppies.
it's
I
a
might have
murky
one pair
area.
left of metallic
They
blues.
keep fish good enough, but if they really care, they want the best for every fish to thrive. Uh huh. Uh huh.
Agreed. That's where my stand is. Yep. Good enough
So
is
go ahead.
good enough is the fish are living.
Mhm.
Thriving is where you want to be if you really I'm using the word care the wrong way, but if you really care about what you're doing You want the fish to thrive. And now what I mean by that is it does not have to be their biotope for them to thrive. That's not where I'm going with it. Now, doing that, yeah, you're giving them their best life. And there you go. So if you want to be a purist and say what's good, then biotope all the way. Fine and dandy. You get the gold star, and I would never ever question that
And a
whatsoever.
humongous tank,
But
ridiculously huge for the fish.
yeah, yeah, give them a chunk of that particular river with everything that goes in that chunk. Take the picture, make it, put it into a glass box. That is beyond when it comes to thriving. But to me, here at the shop, unless it is a cichlid or a pleco or a specific kind of snail that's going to chomp down on all of your plants, to me, a good tank is live plants anywhere that you can have them and it's safe to have them. Obviously, there's exclusions, goldfish, cichlids, like there's just, you know, they want to rip things apart and it just is what it is. It's not short term, but long term, you're going to most likely be really replacing a lot of plants with certain types of fish. But whether you choose sand, gravel, bare bottom, I don't like bare bottom. I'm not the biggest fan, but I understand the reasons behind bare bottom, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you do bare bottom, I'll be a stickler about this. Try to maybe spray paint the bottom black, and then there's less of a glare coming up on the fish, but that's just my own personal opinion. Doesn't matter if you do it or you don't. The downside to doing that is now you see all the poop and all the waste on the bottom, but there's also less glare, and I think it aids in lessening algae buildup because, again, less glare and reflection coming off of the bare bottom. But to me, doesn't matter if it is $5 pebbles from Home Depot or black diamond blasting sand or play sand or pool filter sand. The substrate is irrelevant to me. Substrate, I think, helps in collecting all of the poop and the waste to balance out your tank. It's more surface area for biofilm and good bacteria to build up. So that's why I'm a substrate fan. And anywhere where you can have live plants, have them. You know, if you believe that 1 inch per gallon matters, and with larger species it does, with nanos it does not. Sorry, there's less waste, there's less food that you're feeding. You know, if you're doing it right, when you throw live plants into a tank, God, don't eat right now, and you make me literally want to place an order somewhere. So if you throw in live plants, you're keeping your parameters in check longer, not in check that you never have to do a water change, forgive me, but you're keeping your parameters in check longer. The waste that's being produced in the bottom of the tank, don't do that either. That's scarier than you just eating your damn fries. God damn it. I swear to God. I'm giving your wife bail money. When I get to Florida, something tells me we're going to jail. I'm giving your wife bail money so that she can show up and just be like, I told you so. Told you so. So anyway.
So let's change the subject real fast. We're gonna get back to that.
Yes,
but,
go for it.
Savage.
Well, real quick, because I'm gonna put these.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Savage is like, how do you feel about using fish as art? Like the art aquarium museum in Japan. I don't know what you're talking about. But I would imagine any display tank is fish as art. But I don't know what you're talking about, the fish in Japan, though. I would have to look that up as far as that. In fact,
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about the art aquarium museum in Japan, but I will say fish as art as far as people putting like a goldfish in the heel of a shoe or little baby fish fry in your fingernails. That's weird stuff. Sorry. I like that miniature reef tank that guy brings to a bunch of aquarium shows, and he like wears it around his neck and stuff. It's like a little Pico reef tank, but I wouldn't promote that as, you know, safe for endlers and stuff like that. And same with like if you were talking about maybe using like the plastic bowls that people hang on their walls and stuff like that. I'm not down for any of that. So something tells me that whatever whatever the Japan Art Museum thing is probably falls along that. Are you looking?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
trying
you
to.
are. All right. While he's looking it up to tell me whether or not I would hate it, some of you might be Hillstream fans, as I am a Hillstream fan. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna throw away. They put in ammonia pads for me, and that being said, I just wanted to remove the ammonia pad.
Phone call came in. Whoa, now I dropped my phone. Hold on. Some of you that are in the Hillstream community might know about the Red Devil Hillstream loaches, and I had a customer put in a special order for them, so I'm only going to have 3 extras. I do that. If you place a special order with me, I'm always going to overstock the item because God forbid there's a fatality in it arriving to me or I have any acclimation issues, I'll always have extras. I've gotten these before from this particular source and they're really healthy. They're always awesome. So I'm pretty sure that starting next week, I'll have the 3 extras available for sale. I don't expect anybody to pass away. So the special order is already acclimating and none of these guys are in a position to really be able to see what they look like, but they have just red tail, red spotting, and like almost like stripes on them. I gotta dump the water. But those guys came in and just in oddities and rare things. This one.
Hey,
is
something happened.
Oddities that stores don't get.
Something happened to your thing.
What happened?
I don't know.
Something happened to my thing.
Your audio.
My audio? You can't hear me?
I can hear you, but it's like it's staticky.
Oh, it's bad.
It's staticky. It sounds like the old Spider-Man
Still
walkie-talkie.
staticky?
Like you're talking in a walkie-talkie. Hey, breaker 19.
I'm gonna put my earbuds back in the charging case and put them back in. Give me 1 sec.
Okay. Hey, Savage, I'm looking. I don't see anything about no art in Japan art display. I don't know what to look for.
Uh-oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you at all.
I can hear you. Oh,
you're an ass. Oh my God, there's 12 different ways I'm gonna smack you when I see you in person. Just know it's coming. Just know it's coming. No weapons, no nothing. Just, back of the hand type stuff.
What? Look at that dude.
We are so scrapping in Florida.
Art Museum, Tokyo, the most stunning. Okay, let's see. I think I see something.
Okay, I'm gonna unload fish. Tell me what you see.
I see big bowls with crazy looking bowls with goldfish in them. And pillars like columns,
Okay.
with goldfish and air bubbles.
So something that obviously makes no sense whatsoever, but they're calling it art.
Yeah, I can tell that these things aren't. Well, I don't know. I would hope that they're not in there like for long. Like they just put them in there just for. Well, if it's open all the time.
Hopefully it's just an exhibit that's going to end really soon because it sounds like it's not normal.
Oh, I'll send you the link after this.
No, I appreciate it. When I take a union break, I'll be sure to watch. Unreal. Well, next up in my world are Pygmy multi-stripe loach. I had about 5 left in the shop, so I just wanted to add to their collection because these guys do best in groups of like 5 and above. I won't push on the 6 issue, but 5 or above. They're really neat. They are semi-hovering loach species. Like I have the lake inlay hovering loach, which is the exact name. These guys don't have hovering in their common name, but they're really, really cute. They're like a brownish beige, and they get long, dark blue stripes down their sides. Um, they're a little bit bigger than a rosy loach, but they're definitely on the smaller size, like dwarf chain loach size. But they're wishy-washy right now coming out of the bag. But they are super beautiful when they're colored up. You can see a little bit of striping is starting on some of them, but really great in a community tank. They're extremely low maintenance, but you definitely don't want to buy, less than 3 of these guys. That's at least my personal opinion. The bigger the group, the better off you are on those guys. I'm going to go put these away with their friends.
Yeah, this looks like a extreme aqua shella type deal. That's what it looked like to
Yeah,
me.
I'll have to check it out. So let's see. I told you about the Cyprichromis. I told everybody about my Delta nightmares. They know about the birthday. Oh, I know. So we told everybody about the birthday code for Saturday. However, since you're here, I have nothing but success stories to tell. These guys are going to be Bumblebee autosynclus. I ordered them last week, and I held on to them for a week, but that being said, all of them were sold. I had a gentleman call me who he likes all my oddball and rarities, so he wanted a 12-pack of them. So I got him a 12-pack, and then I also restocked for the shop on the Bumblebee autos, just because they sold out so quickly. They are a tiny, tiny, tiny autosynclus. They do not get large like your standards. They're definitely not like the zebras, which are a medium-sized auto. These
So
guys are called
how big
Bumblebee.
does a standard auto get?
A standard, if it's like a Brazil spot or a Peruvian, I'm going to say 2-inch.
I've never seen one that
Um,
big. I've only seen them 1 inch
Man, I
long.
got some chunky monkeys. I only use one source for the Brazils and the spotteds, or I'm sorry, the Brazil spots and the Peruvians. I only use one source just because they come in much better because they're wild caught. But they come in much better with one source than with any other source. And my guys are always fat and sassy, and I have 2 specific tanks I throw them in, and they get right on the biofilm. Like they really are worker bees. And then the exotics, they range in sizes, and you also have the giant otto. Then you have Perodo, I think is how it's pronounced, Perodosynclus, which is like a giant version. But then there's a
They're
size
ugly.
chart for those.
Those look like
Not all of them.
they look like somebody ran over a regular auto cyclist, but just the face.
Dinner was finger licking good.
How? What are you talking about?
I said dinner was finger licking good.
I don't know what
You
you're
caught
talking about.
yourself licking your fingers. All right, so I dumped most of the water out, and you guys really aren't going to be able to see these that well, but these are some of the bumblebees that are running around in here. So I'm going to dump these in the back. But what I want to talk about, we're going to put Funk on blast right now. What I want to talk about, and I haven't been able to. Yes,
Wait. Before you put me on blast,
go ahead.
I'm too nervous to get autos. I hear too many stories of them starving to death.
Who's that?
Somebody writes in the chat. Go.
Who's the person that said that? Who's my scaredy cat?
Alicia Scott Keys.
If it's the Alicia I know from here at the shop, then tell her I said I'm obviously here. I would start with a Brazil spotted because forgive me the way I'm going to say it. They're cheap. You're not investing in the high ends. I'm sorry.
It's her.
It's her. Okay.
It's me, Louise.
Hi, honey. Sorry, I'm in the back room putting the bumblebees away, so I'm not looking at the chat. But how are you, sweetie? So long story short, I would start with 2 Brazil spots. They're on the cheaper side. I think they run like under $6. They're like $5.29 maybe. Those I can probably guarantee you are going to survive in your tank as long as you have any form of algae. They don't need the biofilm as much as some of the specialty autos need, but as long as you've got algae, they're eating. And then within about a week after that, every other day, throw in a very high vegetable content bottom feeder pellet, preferably not just an algae wafer because of the way they absorb the water and get like a weird mush. If you really wanted to go high end, you could do Rapashi, or you could do the DIY paste that I have from Pleco Ceramics. But you don't have to with them. You really don't. As long as you've got algae, you're good. The high end models, they need algae, but they also need biofilm. So if you ever have issues with lack of biofilm in the tank, then that would be an AE Bacter thing. I hate playing with AE Bacter, not going to deny that. It's to underdose with AE Bacter than to do the dosing. AE Bacter kills a lot of things. So that's why I'm scared to mess with AE Bacter. But the customers I have that purchase it and are successful, I ask them all the questions, and it does come down to the dosing with AE Bacter and making sure you're underdosing in order for that product to do what it needs to do to keep a tank going for the high-end types of autos. Why am I fortunate with mine? I couldn't tell you, but I will say that for the high ends, I only keep them on either the Brightwell Aquatics soil substrate they sell or on the Caribsea Aqua Soil. So do I think that has something to do with it? I kind of do, because those soils, for some reason, give me more diatom algae. And when they get into the tank, the first place they always go is for the diatom algae. So don't ask me why, but all the high ends, so sneaky. So if it's bumblebees, robocops, zebras, vampires, the galaxies, what else have I had? Some of the redfin Perotocinclus, those guys I always keep in the back room. They're always on that substrate. I don't do AE Bacter at all, but they love diatoms. And also driftwood, because you get a lot of biofilm off of your driftwood. There's tannins in the tank, but the tank is still running at exactly 7 on the pH. So I don't concern myself with lower pH, although they're tolerant of lower pH. So the pH isn't the factor as much as I think that type of aquatic soil builds up more biofilm in aiding them. But you also, if you're going to do the higher end autos, you definitely want to make sure that your tank has been marinating for a hot minute. Funk and I actually, we were talking about the nitrogen cycle recently. And what I mean by marinating is letting your tank season. And Alicia's no beginner at all. She's obviously veteran knowledge here. But just generally speaking on the nitrogen cycle, there are certain fish and certain shrimp that they need your tank to be well seasoned for months on end to build up those biofilms, to build up those specific forms of algae that
for the percolator.
So yeah, you have to let your tank percolate. It's like a French press. You can do instant coffee, but a French press takes time. And from that time, you'll get a totally different flavor. So you need your tank to have some flavor. You done with the percolator? Go ahead.
Savage. Okay.
Listen, if you're taking a vape break, then I'm gonna take a quick union break and smoke a cigarette. Then I'll wash up and keep going to fish. So go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
Since we seem to be yapping.
Savage mentioned that I have McDonald's fries and Wendy's pop. Pop. The hell? Pop. So, shout out to autism parents who can't
I've heard this story.
Wendy's fries because your autistic child will only eat McDonald's fries. So you have to go to 2 places. You have to go to 2 places. You can't go to Wendy's and get Wendy's food. You have to go to Wendy's for adults and everybody else, and then you have to go to McDonald's to get. So yeah.
So there's no Raceway in there? I thought you were a Raceway fan. I thought you were a Raceway fan.
Raceway.
Or not Raceway. What's the burger place?
Racetrack.
Racetrack. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
It's
they
a
have racetrack.
monsoon outside.
We can't get none racetrack. And if she's like, here's the thing. If we can, so Nestle's strawberry milk, right?
Mm-hmm.
She will drink strawberry milk if we put it out of the Nestle's bottle. If you take a different strawberry bottle, and she will not drink it. So what we have to do is we get the budget brand strawberry thing, and we keep the bottle from the Nestle. And when she's asleep, when the Nestle gets, we just pour it into there so that she sees the Nestle strawberry. She sees it, she's fine with it.
Yeah. I have an ex-boyfriend whose daughter was autistic, and again, it's the familiarity and the expectations that they set forth, and that's what's expected. The change is the most drastic thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, change is not, we can't do it. Cheater. Who's cheating?
Well, as Cam said, it is. It's very complicated. They have their favorite foods, and it's a select few things, and
Yeah.
it's a varied diet and a colorful palette for taste and texture. That it usually doesn't go down that way.
Yeah, but listen, she's calling me a cheater for putting different juice. So listen, there's certain things we can't get away with though. Like for instance, Lucky Charms. She will eat Lucky Charms without milk. You know, if you put Lucky Charms in a bowl, she'll eat it. But if you try and get the bargain or the fake Lucky Charms, you know, it has
She
the
knows
same
the
characters,
difference.
the same rainbow,
Yeah.
the same everything. You
Yep.
put that in there, she recognizes the marshmallows, and she won't eat it. In fact, she saw us have the ghetto Lucky Charms. She
Mhm.
took that box and hid it. She hid the box of the ghetto Lucky Charms.
I'm sorry.
She hid that stuff. Like, was like, where'd it go? She hid it.
Oh my goodness gracious. I gotta
Yeah.
wash up real quick, so I'll have to put the phone down for a second. Actually, I went left hand only, so I'll scrub with left hand.
Yeah. But,
No, it happens. It's again, it's they have their favorite items, and that's what they're gonna rock with. I have a friend of mine. His son, for a year straight, I wish I was kidding, he'd only eat those Takis chips, Takis or whatever. That's all he'd eat, and McDonald's chicken nuggets, and nothing else.
yeah.
That was the diet. Sorry for saying it that way, but that's tough. That is tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so my union break is over. We put away the multi-stripes. We put away the red devil hill streams. Does anybody have any fish that they'd like to talk about? Any fish that they're interested in that I might have around the shop while I'm doing this? Hello, Jose. Hello, Shy. Sorry, I honestly, and just anybody that might be in the chat, I apologize. I have rarely looked down. I said hello to June. Sorry, guys, I'm scrolling back. We talked with Alicia. I know Jeff was in here earlier. I saw Mexicali, and I don't know if you're still here, but hi, Mexicali. Sorry about that. I'm going to go grab another bag.
So, yeah.
Anybody have anything interesting they want to talk about?
I still want to talk about this good and good enough. And I used to think, no. So check this out. And I still hear people saying this, and I'm gonna have to change my tune on this. I used to think that the ultimate standard to know that you're keeping your fish at the highest quality you can, or a very high quality, is if they breed on you. If they breed, that means you are keeping them at a very top quality. I gotta change my mind on that. I gotta change my mind. Some fish will breed regardless.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you think that fish are intelligent enough to breed because they think they're gonna die?
No, they just have an urge. They gotta get
Right.
it.
No, I personally believe that they're the average 11-year-old that discovered their first Playboy magazine and,
Yeah,
went outside and
yeah,
humped a tree.
yeah,
Forgive me,
yeah.
descriptive. These guys are, not to say a no-brainer, not everybody might know about them, but these guys are the red neon blue eye Pseudomagil luminatus. There's also the Pseudomagil pascae. Occasionally, I'm able to get those from a supplier in California. That's not the supplier I went through, so these definitely are the luminatus. I went through, oh my God, probably 24 of these guys in the last week. I think I'm down to like the last 6, so I was just restocking those. But go ahead, sorry. So good and gooder.
No, so the reason why I say I have to change my mind about that is I've seen fish breed in conditions that I would consider not good. And I used to
Agreed.
think that fish will only breed if they have nothing else to worry about. Like if they wasn't worried about their safety, if they wasn't worried about food, if they wasn't worried about health, if they wasn't worried about water quality,
Yeah, you
if
thought it
they
was
had
based
no
on the
worries,
conditions. Yeah.
if they had no worries in the world, then they would go, okay, I can pay attention to this whole, getting some scenario. But
No, makes
I
sense.
realized I've seen fish breed um in in scenarios that they're not supposed to. Um, plecos, bushy nose plecos, for instance, um, they will breed in a bare bottom, absolutely empty tank with just a sponge. I know they don't want to.
Mm-hmm. But they
Ideally,
will.
that is not there. There's no driftwood. There's no plants. There's no hole. What you
Real
got
quick,
there?
bamboo shrimp, and we're just restocking the bamboo shrimp. I went through probably 2 dozen of these guys in the last week and a half. I was also low stocked on the vampire shrimp, so I did put those guys away already. But that being said, there's a restock on the bamboos. They came in at a really nice size. But go back to the plecos, because I actually do have a small comment about the plecos,
Yeah,
because I know we were talking about this the other day on how yours bred.
yeah. So I mean, you just see a clutch of eggs in a corner somewhere, um, and you think to yourself, well, why would you do that? Why would you breed when there is no scenario saying that this is a breeding situation that is good for you, but you still did it? So that leads me to believe that you don't necessarily have to have, like, that's not necessarily the standard in my opinion anymore.
Yeah.
In I can't say that's definitely the standard is what I'm getting at, you know.
Agreed. Now, when getting on to how yours bred, like you said, there was no cave involved. It was in the corner of the tank,
Yeah.
and there was a success rate to that. What made me kind of think in a different way when you mentioned that is the benefits to it, and that being, and this, I shouldn't say it happens a lot. I just know it happens with people I know that breed bushy nose. When it's their first round, the males can get overly excited and they can unfortunately crush your female to death. And it's because, just like us humans, we don't necessarily know what we're doing the first time around. And if you did, congratulations, high five, and chick probably wanted to marry you. But if you didn't know, then, you kind of move on to the next. So for bushy nose, I find that almost beneficial that they did the deed the way they did in your tank because you
Hmm.
can't really crush a chick that way. So for people that are afraid to lose a female, to know that it's not necessary for you to have pleco caves, because another thing when people are always pushing the you have to have caves, is the size of the cave. Because again, depending on the girth of the male, the girth of the female, this is how these females get crushed. Hey, girth it's a real term outside of your perversions. The next
I'm
fish
a
that I just
child.
want to bring up, these guys are going to be going into a blackwater, even though they were tank bred and tank raised. I had a special order for Betta Rubra, and then I brought in 2 extra pairs of Betta Rubra. They're colored down. They're a little stressed out right now, but that being said, I'm going to get them where they've got to go. But these guys, I should have these 2 extra pairs available by the weekend because, again, they're tank bred. I know who they came from. Great supplier on these guys, so I'm not concerned. But again, I'll still observe. So Betta Rubras are a wild type Betta. Anything else on them? You guys, if you want to go down the whole rabbit hole of getting them into a lower pH for perfect breeding, this is where I'll argue as them being tank bred, tank raised, the breeding behaviors on them is not everything that you're going to read up as if they were wild caught, because these guys were not wild caught. So this is basically solidifying what Funk was just saying, that environment matters, but again, know where the fish are also coming from. If these were wild caught, their parameters would be different than the fact that they are not wild caught. Therefore, I can have them with slight tannins and they're happy little campers. Go on, sorry.
No, so I was just saying, in that scenario with the bushy nose, good enough for them was good.
Worked.
Like good enough.
Yep.
Just, I mean, the bare basics, which is a sponge filter. I didn't even have a heater. I don't have a heater in those tanks. So it's like hovering in between 75 and 77 somewhere in there. I imagine last time I checked, that's what it is now. Granted, it's gotten warmer, but my point is even good enough is pretty damn good, apparently, because they were breeding. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But some people will look at that
I find it to be very relevant.
mad. Some people will look at that and be like, "You dirty bastard! You stank
Yes.
dirty."
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I
How
feel
dare you? You didn't provide them optimal conditions. You're horrible. And then call you a breeder on top of it when it was in fact an oopsie. Next up are Kalitawa rainbows. It's a staple item that we keep here at the shop. It's a dwarfer species than some of your larger rainbows, like your turquoise rainbows, Bosmani, millenniums. They're a stunning, smaller species of rainbow. They get this iridescent silver, whites, greens, reds, absolutely gorgeous, stunning fish. I keep them with Skull Creek rainbows, which is another dwarf species. These guys cap out at, I think, 2 3/4 or less, if I'm not mistaken. But that being said, both species are stunning. I also re-upped on the Skull Creeks, but I'm going to put those guys together with the few that I had left in the shop because these guys are re-up items. So I'm going to unload the Kalitawas and the Skull Creeks, and if anybody wants to see them later, just let me know. But we're going to let Funk keep going with good and gooder. Yes?
I want to see what a Skull Creek rainbow look like.
Well, let me show you the ones I have in the tank because those guys at least will be colored up. Skull Creeks are gorgeous. Give me one sec.
Yeah. It's a cool name. Rainbows are funny because they either look good or they either have color or they don't.
That's
I've seen those.
Give me one sec. No, that one's not it. That's it. That's a Skull Creek.
That's a similus.
No, it's not. Look up Skull Creek Rainbow. Listen, look up Skull Creek Rainbow and see that sickening green that comes off of these guys. These guys are super badass. So anyway,
that looked like a Florida. That looked like a Florida sailfin.
Florida minnow.
Sailfin.
No, the not the sailfin molly. The Florida swordtail. Just that little bit of green.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to get these Skull Creek put away. Keep talking.
All right, Savage, take it easy, man.
Bye, Shy.
So yeah, I don't know. And betas.
We can talk about my special needs guys that I got going. Go for it. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
So for the longest, and for the most part, I'm still gonna give these. I'm having a crisis of conscience is what's going on. All right, I'm having a crisis of conscience. I'm still gonna tell people if they ask me how to take care of a beta, that they should have some type of filtration in the aquarium. But saying that, I have seen so many scenarios. I personally have bettas in aquariums or containers, because at that time it's not an aquarium if it doesn't have a filter, right? That does not have a filter, that are thriving.
Okay.
In all honesty, I would say they're thriving. They're active, they're colorful, they're alert. I've seen more bettas get sick and die in a aquarium with a filter than
Fighting current.
than not a filter.
So right now I have 2 koi placots in filterless tanks because the filtration was killing them. They for some reason are not heavy duty swimmers. Other than that, they are perfectly healthy. They are loving life. They're in a heavily planted unfiltered tank. I would say the equivalent of the Wallstead method minus soil. There's a lot of Barclaya bulbs in there. There's some hornwort. There's floating plant. There's bazillions of places to hide. Some customers don't even know they're even in these tanks. The one tank is full of buse, and my guy likes to hide behind that and like stare at you and act like you can't see him. And then I also, unfortunately, so I have a jet black placate male, and he jumped ship into the 10-gallon next door, and he ripped off the entire dorsal and entire half moon off of a mustard gas betta. I came in the next morning. This poor betta is in the corner, down on the bottom, completely tailless, completely, no dorsal fin whatsoever, looking at me, just like, get me out of here. And then I see the black placate up top, like a freaking Jaws, like, haha, I did this. So I put the placate back where he belonged, put a lid on his tank, and I grabbed the mustard gas and I threw him in a 3-gallon bookshelf. So it's a really long, unfiltered aquarium. Now, mind you, I was housing like a pair of rice fish or sometimes shrimp in these tanks. But when all hell broke loose, and this just happened in the last 2 months, this isn't, a regular thing. So those are now being occupied by these bettas. I kid you not, they are living their best lives in these tanks. If I move either one of those kois back into a filtered tank or a community atmosphere, they're going to do exactly what they did to me, which is lay on their sides and be what I would call a hypochondriac, but be little hypochondriacs and wouldn't make it. So it's not, do you think the Betta Fish Police have harmed the Betta Fish Care recommendations? Yes. The police, yes. And here's my issue. So Funk said this to me, and it really, really stuck with me. And I've been even reiterating it in my live streams. No one is an expert. You are your own expert. And if you care about your fish enough to watch them other than to feed them, and what I mean is watch their behaviors, like how I was talking about the Apistogramma earlier, that I can pick out who's paired off in order to sell that pair and not just a random male and a random female. When you watch your fish's behaviors, their personality, how they eat, if you care, you'll know what they want. Not what the book says, not what the expert said, not what it. Every fish has its own behavior. There's always going to be people that come in here that want to mix their imbunas with angelfish and goldfish, and I'm always going to say no. The sign on the imbuna tank says don't mix because there's a million reasons why you shouldn't mix. But, and I'll be the first to say it, I have people that have labs with their haps and peacocks, and they have a mixed tank, and it works because of the size of the tank, because of the amount of hides they have in there, because they know the pecking order of who's the king dingaling in the tank, and they have a line of sight separation for when there is a problem. They are smart enough to know that when all hell breaks loose, that it's time to rearrange the furniture in the tank. They've got timeout chairs for them, which is usually a fish tank divider. There are ways to pull off mixed tanks, the same way there's ways to pull off an unfiltered aquarium to house a betta fish. So again, just like Funk taught me, and I will 100% say till the day I die, you are your own expert.
Yeah.
And it all comes down
Yeah.
to not the research you did, but the experience you have with the
Yeah.
individual fish. I have seen Cubatoy rasboras go murk their entire tank. Same with CPDs. And anybody's going to tell you that those are community fish and they're perfectly fine, and they're not. Some of them come with some serious attitude and they murk their relatives, and it just is what it is. Because there was one loon bar in the
Yeah.
group. Sorry to say it that way. So go ahead.
Yeah. No.
Sorry.
Over the years, I've eaten a lot of crow because I have told customers, you can't do that. That will never work. And then they come back because they did it anyway. Because they're gonna do what customers are gonna do what they want to do.
Yep.
You could either Wheezy, she's like, yeah, you could do what you want to do, but not with my fish. She ain't gonna handle that, right?
Yeah, that's just me. And
Yeah.
be it right or wrong, I'm not going to sell you something that I
Yeah.
almost guarantee is
Yeah.
going to get murdered. And then there's people that I have sold fish to that I know can handle the challenge,
Yeah.
and I'd be willing to take the fish back if it didn't work.
Yeah.
So there are some exceptions to the rule. But generally, I will buy you, and I'll say this till the day I die, I will buy you a gift card to the other store. Go do that at the other store. Have a nice day. Sorry.
But
real quick, I'm just going to put
okay,
Pygmy rasboras away, and then we'll keep going. Sorry.
Pygmy rasboras, ain't they all damn pygmies? In my opinion, they all pygmies.
Well, so there's levels. There's Phoenix rasboras, there's Pygmy spot rasboras, all the different types. Fun fact, and I'm going to go do the drop, but one of my suppliers down in Florida, and I looked for the email prior to coming on the live stream because I wanted to be accurate in what I was going to say. Everybody wants chili rasboras because, they're the brightest, they're the most popular, and I think some people always want chilies because they don't know about Phoenix or they don't know about strawberries and the other types, but for a while, they're not available due to seasonal conditions. And you'll hear that in live streams from other YouTubers all the time, that they're a seasonal fish, they're mostly wild caught, blah, 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 and you have to wait for them to be back in season. So they're starting to pop up again, but the downside to them popping up, at least according to this wholesaler, and I can't tell you verbatim, and it kind of upsets me because I don't want to say the wrong thing, but in their email, they received a couple thousand of them, and it was one of those, get them while you can, but not because of the season. Now, apparently, we might not ever be able to get chilies again because of what's going on in the country they're sourced from. And it wasn't just, I'm sorry?
I said fake news.
I remember you talking about that. Sorry.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So there's unfortunately, it looks like this might be a very short-lived run for the chili rasboras. And also, and this happened to me a few months ago, because again, they've been out of season for a while. There was one company that sourced some, and they weren't the proper chili rasbora. I guess there's a subversion. I can't think of what the name of it is. Again, I'm horrible sometimes with the Latin names. So there's false chilies that are being sold in the industry, on top of the fact that we might not be able to get chilies again. So basically, to all of you listening, and it has nothing to do with my shop, but if you see chilies, ask if they are, actual chilies. And then if you want chilies, you might want to get them while you still can. So I didn't verify what the wholesaler said. I didn't, make sure that this was true. So, I might actually be spreading fake news.
Mexicali said it was a conflict zone.
Yes, and there's something else beyond the conflict zone too. Something about the waters getting polluted based off of the conflict and runoff, and something else. So yeah, it's like the trifecta, the perfect storm for them to possibly be nixed off of lists for quite some time,
They got
if
the
not
diarrhea?
possibly permanently.
They got the
They
diarrhea.
usually sell. Stop it. It's not the exclamation point. There's the, oh damn.
Did they eat at
There's
Taco
the
Bell?
brigate.
You don't
There's
want
the
that.
Brigate version, and then I can't remember what the other one is, and it's not maculatus, but it's on the tip of my tongue. But they look very similar. But the exclamation points, I got to admit, I don't understand how anybody, even your average wholesaler, can confuse an exclamation point with a chili. If anything, I would confuse a chili with a phoenix. If you look both species up, I wouldn't confuse them with a strawberry. But yeah, phoenix and a chili similar. The pygmy spots are their own. There's nothing that looks like that. I think there's nothing that looks like the exclamation point. We carry all the types here at the shop. So we've got the strawberries, the phoenix, we have the exclamation points, the pygmy spots, the chilies at the moment. And that's just me. Like I am a collector. So now next up, and this is the first time I'm doing them proper, I was able to get the spade tail licorice gouramis, also known as the filamentosus licorice gouramis once. It turned out they weren't what I was sold. And I actually didn't notice. I have a customer who is in a bunch of different Betta and licorice gourami conservation groups. And he had bought some from me, and he's like, "Did you know these are actually XYZ?" And I was like, "Oh my God, let me give you your money back." And he was okay with it. But he is, if I had to ask someone for advice with regards to certain types of bettas or licorice gourami, he would be my source. And as far as his handle on here, he goes by Data Buffer. But that being said, I finally got the real deals, and I made these individuals that sent me the real deals take them out, take pictures, send them to me to prove that they were exactly what I wanted to get.
Are you gonna put them
And
in a
Cam,
tank
there
now?
are yeah, I'm going to drain them and then put them in the back and let them acclimate and color up. And these guys are wild caught, so I'm going to be putting them in a tank with botanicals. They're going in those backroom tanks that I was talking about with the pH adjustments. Go ahead.
Before you leave, before we get off, let her see him. Cam, come on now. Start writing your list
So
up. Jesus
when
Christ.
what Cam asked is, yes, there's many different species of licorice gourami. If you go on my website, all the different types that I've had here at the shop. Right now, I only have strawberry licorice gouramis and these filament spade tails. I might be a liar. Something tells me I have another species back here.
Cam,
But anyway,
if
there's
only you
different
had store
types.
credit. If only you had store credit there, you can get those.
Listen, Cam has credit for days, weeks, months, years. I told her previously that when I get down to Florida, I want to send her a ticket to meet me there. I love me my Cammy. So that being said, there's a bunch of different types. They all have different color. There's a moon spot, licorice gourami, but they all have different patterns, different markings, different collection points. But yeah, there's a wide variety of licorice gouramis. I think, don't quote me, I want to say I've had 7 different types here at the shop at one point or another. They're not readily available. I have learned the hard way that I have to watch where I'm sourcing because they can definitely be mislabeled. And I'm glad I had that lesson to learn. Like I'm so grateful to the collectors that I have that shop here at the shop because, as previously stated, I'm no expert. I don't want to be an expert. The biggest joy I have in this shop is Amazonas Magazine. When Amazonas Magazine drops, and whatever's on the cover, if 75% of those fish on the cover are here at the shop, I did good as a collector. I want to see these things with my own 2 eyes. There are fish in here I could care less when I sell. I wanted to see them. I collected them. They're accurate. I kept them living and thriving and giving them a good life as a foster fish mom. So I enjoy that. I actually said this earlier. I had a business meeting that was about 2 hours on the phone while I was doing water changes. And we were talking about all the rare fish I have. And I said, you know, when customers call and say, do you have emperor tetras? I say, what kind? And they say, what do you mean? And I said, well, there's carries, there's super blues, there's palmaries, there's the standards, there's the rainbows, I have the goldens. And they're like, there's that many types. Well, yes, and I have all types in stock. I'm proud to say that because again, just when you thought there's only one kind, man, I got 7 different kinds. They're all in stock. They're all in the same section, and you can check them all out. And you don't have to just settle for one kind. You didn't even know that the rainbow existed, and now you're walking out with that. So the woman that I was talking to in this business meeting, she says, "Well, I bet you don't have a fish in your shop that I can, tell you." She said, "I had one when I was a kid." And I said, "Go ahead." And she says, "Anableps." And I start laughing because a week prior to me setting up the Tanganyikan tank for the Cyprichromis and the Similis, there were anableps available from a really good supplier at a really good wholesale price. Sorry for saying it that way. And I was like, should I do it? Should I get a 6-pack of anableps? And I'm like, people probably aren't going to understand. The common name is the 4-eyed fish. I said, people probably aren't going to know about them. They're not going to be, a hot ticket. It's going to be a weirdo fish that sits. And right now I need that tank for more popular species. Let's put it that way. Because as a business owner, I get it. I'm a fish nerd and a hobbyist. But as a business owner, all of my tanks are real estate. And sorry for saying it that way, but from a business standpoint, that's what an empty fish tank is. It's unused real estate. So when a fish doesn't sell, then I'm not flipping that real estate to bring in something else to be able to sell. The same way that if the tank sits empty, that's unused real estate that I should be filling it with something, whether it's a bread and butter to make sure the bills are paid, or if it's an oddball that somebody's looking for. So I told her that. I said I almost got them, and she was impressed that I knew what the anableps were. But it kind of sucks. Like, this person's planning on coming to the store, and now I regret not getting them, not because she would have bought them, but because that would have brought up a childhood memory for her, and she would have enjoyed telling me that story. So anyway, go ahead. Oh, real quick.
I saw these
I'm
fish
not
at the
going.
museum.
I'm sorry.
The anableps. I saw them at the
Yeah.
museum that we just went to last week.
Yeah, they're so ugly. They're cute. They're more fish-like than the mud skippers, but I would say that would be my comparison when it comes to anableps. Similar, but not. I mean, obviously, 2 totally different species.
They're like the mud skipper before it came out the water. Evolutionary.
Yeah, yep, definitely. The other 3 boxes are not going to be here until the middle of the night, if not tomorrow. So my big woohoo, I got something cool in the shop for this week outside of what you guys already saw are these guys. These guys are the neon blue-eyed rainbow, otherwise known as the Cyanna dorsalis Pseudomcgill rainbow. These guys are found in brackish water in Australia. They're not easy to come by. I've only gotten them 3 times in the shop. They are in slightly brackish water, so they're running at a salinity of 1.004. Where they're going, they are going to be matching in that salinity. And I'm not going to show them to you in the tank because I'm going to be drip acclimating them as well. So this way they're, properly taken care of. And unfortunately, just in opening the bag, I have 1 man down and 1 man spinning. So I'm going to immediately add. Oh, by the way, I'm going to repeat this again. If you drip acclimate your fish, try, just a tip and trick suggestion, try to add a little bit of dechlorinator into the water they came in, because once you open a bag of fish that have been shipped or fish that have been sitting in a bag for a long time, once that bag is exposed to air, the ammonia is already spiking in the water. Your parameters are automatically changing from what they were when they were sealed in the bag. So because drip acclimation takes much longer than just dropping a fish into a tank, otherwise known as the plop and drop method, adding a little bit of water conditioner goes a long way when you're doing a drip acclimation process. Just want to throw that out there. So I'm going to remove the dead, which was just 1. And then outside of that, I want to monitor while I'm drip acclimating. I want to monitor the little guy that's got the spins. And so far, just adding that little bit of water conditioner, he seems to be getting it together a little bit better. He is a little calmer. So I'm probably going to speed up their drip acclimation ever so slightly, just so that hopefully this little guy makes it. So I'll be right back. I'm just going to get them on the...
What is your drip rate in a normal drip acclimation?
Usually 1 drip per second. I'm probably going to get this flow the equivalent of probably 2 to 3 drips easily. It's not going to just drain right into them, but that being said, I'm going to go faster because I know right now the tank I'm putting them in is running at 1.005. So technically I'm going 0.1 above what they're at, and I'm okay with that. I don't think it's going to be, any form of a shock to them. So I am going to go a little faster. I'm not going to do, like, there's drip acclimation where you can take like a third a cup of your water and add it, wait a few minutes, and same thing. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to drip them at a faster rate. So I'll be right back, guys.
But like I was saying earlier, I've eaten a lot of crow. There are times where I told people they couldn't, and then they come back and go like, "Remember you said I couldn't do it? Well, they're good." So I don't know what you're talking about. So I look like an idiot. I look like a Momo,
Yeah,
So,
but I mean, when I didn't know squat about angelfish. Do you want to keep going with that before I change the subject?
No. So
Sorry,
that's why one thing I say is that there's no guarantees when it comes to cichlids. And as far as your aquarium goes, you're the expert. Now, you can ask us questions and take our advice as a baseline to make your decision off of. But at the end of the day, it's your decision. You got to make it. And I'm not at your house to look at this because I'm be honest with you, and I think Weezy could attest. A lot of the times, they'll come in and they'll give you they'll lay out this whole scenario of what's going on in their tank, and the longer you talk to them, the more you'll figure out that's not the original thing they told you is nothing near as to what's going on in their tank.
Right. Yep.
They'll tell you, well, this is happening, this happened, and then as you're talking to them, they'll mention something. You'll be like, hold on, wait, what do you mean? And then so you got this now going on, and then the original thing they told you is pointless. It doesn't mean crap.
Yep.
So a lot of times, if you take my advice to heart as gospel, but you gave me the wrong information to start with, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, because I'm not at your house. I don't know. So I can give you my opinion. And the more you come to me, the more I know your aquarium, the better my opinion will work for you. But you're the expert of your tank. That's how I feel about it.
Well, I learned. I was never. And this is where your jaw is going to drop while I take you. So another item that I got were, and I've talked about these guys before. They're called the Piebald Calico Gold Barb. They're an aquarium-bred strain of gold barb that is much different than your standard. And every time they're available, I can only source them from one place. And every time they're available, I always try to get as many as I can. I don't know if you can see a clear shot of that. Isn't that cool? And then the males, they get, now you can see where the new ones are. They have like barely any color, but these guys are the first batch.
That's a cool ass barb. Hold up.
Aren't they neat?
Yo,
so I got another batch.
What the hell? Is it me or is it her? Who is it? Let me know in the chat.
Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Oh, man. I just saw the coolest fish, the coolest little. Now I want to get a barb tank just to have these little damn koi fish.
Aren't they neat? Yeah, the gold barbs don't do it for me, but these calicos are badass.
Me
They're
or
cool.
You? Is it me? Who is it? Is it me or you? Don't be laughing.
What?
Is it me?
What?
Or you?
Or what?
I can't hear nothing.
Again? Hold on.
In the chat. Is it me? Who is it? Nobody's helping. Nobody's helping us.
15 people and nobody's talking.
Get some funk.
Well, she can hear you. Okay, can you still hear me? Can you hear me or no?
It's Louise. She got the cool fish. We won't tell your wife. I
Oh,
have
then she
no
hears me.
idea. Can you hear me?
You can't hear me at
Can you
all?
hear me?
I can hear you. I can
You
hear
can hear
you.
me?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Cam, can you hear me?
And the chat is not helping at all. They're not telling me if they can hear you or they can hear. The chat is setting us up for failure. That's what the chat is doing.
No.
They're talking
Cam
about
must not be able
snitching
to
on me.
hear.
Oh, you
Oh,
hear us
no.
both? I'm gonna get out and then
My
I'm gonna
friend
come back
Michelle.
in.
No, Michelle. Okay, because Michelle
I'm
just
gonna get
jumped
out and
in.
come
She
back
says
in.
she can hear both of us. Bye.
Oh, you know what it might be? Let me see something.
I don't know. What might it be? Any better?
I'm gonna
Alicia
get
can
out, come
hear
back in.
us. Okay. In the meantime, hi, Michelle. How the heck are you? And while you're on here, Cam, we were supportive. You guys were supportive. Give the one that's in here that I haven't had for a while are the clown labs, and there's about 4 or 5 of those left. And oh, Funk is back. Give me 1 second. I hate you. Oh my god, I hate you. I'm so hungry. I swear to God.
We're good. We're good.
And I hate fast food, but yeah, I hate fast food, but that's exactly where I'm stopping on my way out of this town.
Oh, you're
So
good now.
anyway, so my friend Michelle's on here. She's an Mbuna fan. So I just wanted to give her a quick view on the Mbunas one. And let me step back. Give me 1 sec.
So,
So I also redecorated their tank. But anyway, go ahead.
give me 1 second, because I need to talk about this real fast.
And I'll see you
Y'all
on
know good
Thursday,
and well.
Michelle. Sorry.
Y'all know good and well I was having problems. I was asking everybody, is it me or is it her? Let me know in the chat. And everybody's just like, yeah, we're going to tell your wife. Nobody was letting me know nothing. Just have me up here looking crazy.
No, a bunch of people jumped in. Michelle jumped in. Cam jumped in. I think Alicia said she could hear us
Is
both.
Michelle Mimi?
Don't you
Is
dare.
Michelle Mimi?
Yes, that's Mimi.
She's the first one. She's the only one. I don't even know her. I got a whole chat full of people who I know.
She's cool
And it was a
peoples.
stranger that helped
She's
me
cool
out.
peoples like Alicia. Yeah, nah, she's cool peoples like Alicia. That's fam. The one day I was so overwhelmed with so much going on at the shop that she left and she took all of my orders that were for online shipping and she dropped them off at the access point for me. Man, I have no idea what I would do without that woman. She is awesome. So, by the way, everything aside from the Amano shrimp and the Cyanodorsalis that are acclimating, that's everything up until tomorrow's order, which is going to be the plants. And this delayed order, that's another 3 boxes of fish. And then I have another order of fish also coming that was scheduled. So everything is acclimating. I'm going to give them about a good hour to settle in, and then I'll feed lightly because I don't believe in, feeding a normal like feeding schedule. I lightly feed because again, they're still going through some stress. Some of them, depending on the wholesaler, they've been purged, so they haven't eaten, so I don't want them to gorge themselves. So I'm gonna obviously be here for a while. It's almost 7 now. Probably won't get out of here until about 9:30. And thanks to Funk, I'll be stopping in a fast food restaurant. I just need to say this. This
What
morning I
happened?
woke up. I ran out for making me get fast food because there's 2 reasons why I'm mad at you. So this morning when I woke up, I ran out of cigarettes last night. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit before Saturday. It's my birthday. Do this for myself. Then the Delta thing happened. And here I am with my cigarette because the Delta thing happened. So I didn't quit. Now, health-wise, I'm trying to avoid stopping for food and actually like eating healthier. I've been eating yogurts here at the shop. I've been watching my carb intake because that's the death of me, carbs and cheese. But now, first you did it with the fries because fries are so damn good. Doesn't even matter if they're cold. If they're salty, they're good.
It's my
And
cheat day.
then you put that big ass burger in front of you. So, okay, now I'm done bitching and complaining.
It's a double quarter pounder with cheese.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right, I'm going to smoke my cancer stick. And aside from that, I mean, we don't have to we don't have to wrap up. I guess we'll wrap up after I'm done with my cancer stick. But that being said, I do want to get a quick shameless plug in there. For those of you that have not met Aquafunk Aquatics, this is Funk, and he's an awesome person. He has his own YouTube channel. He likes to talk a lot about cichlids. His live streams are hilarious, but they're not going to be just talking fish.
We'll talk
Funk
about
talks about
people.
life.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
you.
Funk talks about life. And it's fun. So if you ever need a refreshing break from just crap, definitely give him a like, subscribe to his channel, get into some of his live streams, and then also check out his videos because he's very thorough in explaining a lot of different procedures and processes, regardless of what kind of tank you have. There's a lot of great information that he can provide to you, regardless of whether you're a cichlid fan or not. Now, also one thing I want to say, and I was mentioning it earlier, but I forgot. Funk sells his own brand of fish food. Definitely check out his fish food line. I use his foods here at the shop for all of the fish. I mix them with my brand of foods as well as other brands of foods that I put into different mixes. For all of my micro nanos, like all those Rasboras we were talking about earlier, he has a fine grain mixed food that it's an
It's a
amazing
hot mic
food.
situation.
And I mix that. I'm sorry.
Was there just a hot mic situation?
What do you mean?
I heard a bang, bang.
Oh, I think my left earbud's going, but my right earbud's good. So that beep beep
Oh,
might have been that. I didn't know
oh,
you could hear it. I figured only I could hear that.
yeah.
So anyway, I've been using his foods probably going on what, at least 5 months now. I'm buying in bulk from him and I am mixing everything. But if you guys have the opportunity, and I will say this wholeheartedly, his foods are cheaper than mine. So if you have multiple tanks, I highly recommend checking out his website, which is aquafunksaquatics.com. But he has great pricing on his foods, and you can mix them with your more expensive foods because these are staple products.
Yeah.
Specialty foods are specialty foods, but I'll let Funk
Yeah.
take it from there. But I would really, if Funk, if you don't mind, if you could show them the wall of foods and explain some of the
Oh,
foods because all of
oh
my
yeah.
customers that might be on here, you should definitely give his foods a try. Go ahead.
All right. So the foods are
I'll
very
smoke
important
my
to me.
cancer stick.
Um, this is my little wall of foods that we do. We're just now starting small in case people don't have bulk, but the majority of what we sell is in bulk for people who have multiple tanks. That's where you get the majority of your savings. Like for instance, a half a pound of tropical flake. I think this is like $8 or something like that. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, it's designed for you to buy this at a wholesale price. It really is a wholesale price for you guys, so that you can use the majority of your money for the more specialty foods, the foods that are really um, expensive, um, uh, frozen foods. If you got flower
Sorry to
horns,
interrupt. Mimi, you have to go to his website to buy his foods. I'm not stocking them here at the shop.
uh,
I can definitely give you some samples
yeah,
of what I've got on the pellets and what I'm feeding the
yeah.
cichlids. And for the embunas, he has what he calls spironilla pellet. And
Oh yeah,
it's a spirulina pellet that is phenomenal for the digestive tracts on the embunas.
yeah,
So I'll give you some samples when I see you on Thursday. And if
yeah,
you like them, I'll give you his
yeah,
website information. But definitely place an order, reasonable shipping. But
yeah,
yeah, his foods are top quality for, again, being the staple items for everyday feedings. But go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry, Funk.
No, you're right. It's a staple. It's rice and beans. That way you could save your money so that you can buy the steak and lobster tail. You know what I mean? Um, That's what it
And
is.
even in the
That's what it
flakes,
is.
he has his own brine shrimp flake. He has his own
Yeah.
krill flake.
Yeah.
So, you know, not to knock Extreme. I like
Well,
Extreme's products, but they're very similar to those products, and the price points are amazing.
yeah. Yeah. I you know what? When I was younger in high school, I would have sold fish food flakes, bags of fish food flakes, instead of bags of
Lettuce,
oregano.
the devil's lettuce,
Oregano.
the devil's lettuce.
This
We all know about the devil's lettuce. Listen, and you said high school, so you weren't even selling the devil's lettuce. You were selling
yeah,
stems and seeds. The
yeah,
shake,
yeah,
that's the pro mix.
yeah,
You were selling the pro mix
yeah,
before it was pro
yeah.
mix.
Anyway, but look, I
Oh my
appreciate
God,
y'all.
I gotta
Listen,
shut up. I'm sorry.
we're probably gonna cut it short.
Did
I
you
ain't
see
gonna
what
lie.
Cam just said? I'm sorry. You gotta look at what Cam just said. It's the game
Game changer.
changer. She used the magic word. For those of you that don't know, me and Funk, we got this pet peeve about everybody that's on YouTube talking about this product's the game changer, that product's the game changer.
Game
Everybody's
changer.
reinventing the wheel lately. So yes, Funk got the game changer.
If you buy
Thank
my
you, Cam.
food, it
I
will.
needed that laugh.
It's a game changer. If you
It will
buy this
change your
food, they'll
life.
learn Spanish. They will learn
You-
Spanish. They will be bilingual.
This is a
It's a
roast
game
pollo in
changer.
a bag, man.
Yeah,
Funk
it's got
got the best
adobo in it.
patalillos in town.
Yeah,
It's
I
got
sprinkle
adobo in it.
adobo
I
in all
can't
my
with
fish
you.
food. But
All right, let's thank.
yeah, look at shit.
I'm sorry about that.
That's fine.
But yeah, so I got to put away some bloodworms. I got to put away some plants. I still got to put away the Cyanida dorsalis. But this was a pleasure. I'll be trying only. Any fish that you purchase online, either for in-store pickup or for online orders, if you use the code birthday15, and again, that's birthday15, it will be activated on August 1st at 12:01 a.m. and it will be deactivated August 2nd at 12:01 a.m. But you'll receive 15% off anything that you order on that day for my birthday. And aside from that, again, thank you guys for coming out. Funk, thank you so much for joining me on the live stream. I hope you had a good time. And you guys, you can close it out for me, boss. All right, before I put the plants away, I'm going to run the Mickey D's. Thank you for rubbing that in my face, sir. I truly appreciate it. And again, thank you all for coming out, for everybody that was in the chat, for all of the fans and the haters. Doesn't matter today. You can't throw me any hate. This was a
But you
good
out there?
stream, guys.
You out there? We see you. We know you there. The number is right there. There's 15. There ain't been 15 people talking.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for coming out. I hope you guys all have a wonderful week. If you have any questions with regards to anything that you saw on the live stream, fish related, please check out the website. Always click on availability first. Everything that is in the shop is listed on the inventory at the current present time. And I hope you guys, again, take care, have a good week, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye, guys.